This is the Fifth General speaking. Welcome to another episode of Mr. Z and Fifth with your host.
Mr. Z.
All right, this is Fifth. So, we were talking about skin deep last week. Last week we was talking about that. Talking about all the negative things. Probably want to get into. We want to get into some positive things about it too. We talked about the stereotypes.
Yes, we did.
We talked about skin bleaching.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about how that plays in a role in the black community.
Yes.
You know, so we definitely want to get into that.
Yes, sir.
Now, we left off. So we left off talking about. Let's see. The last things we mentioned was how it affects in the dating world. We were saying that how in the black community you have some dark-skinned brothers and sisters who have the complexion complex, right?
Yes, they won't.
Right.
Yes. You know, you met them. We meet them. They won't. They definitely won't date a dark-skinned woman or vice versa. You know.
Right. So this is chapter 2 of Skin Deep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we also talked about some of our lighter skinned brothers and sisters who you have a lot of them. Here you have some on the dark skinned side running away from color, and you have them running to color.
To color.
Remember, I was talking about how you'll find that some lighter skinned brothers and sisters want somebody who's actually dark skinned.
Yes, they want somebody. Mm-hmm.
And the sad thing is that you got some of our brothers and sisters out there ashamed of their natural skin color, and they want to do all types of tricks. And then we talked about how in the Caucasian community you have some that tan.
Yes. To
purposely get color. I mean, maybe not as dark as black people, but
they get tan enough to get orange.
Right.
You know?
They like color themselves, at least some color to them.
It's melanin in the skin. Yeah.
It's $1 billion business.
Yeah.
So obviously that comes with something.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about the cake soap and all that.
Oh yeah, different countries with the cake soap. Yes, we did.
So I'm gonna hand it to you. Talk about some of the skin conditions this can cause, because we didn't talk about that.
It's always when you take certain chemicals. We take products. There's always chemicals in it, and there's certain side effects you got. You'll have to read the fine print. There's certain chemicals that you can read in the fine print. There's a lot of people that take these things and they don't read the fine print, or they don't get a prescribed doctor to look at it. And it's sad, man, because you want to bleach your skin. You want to have that glowy skin, that nice. Hey, we all want to have nice, smooth skin. But some people feel that when they lighten their skin, it's a better look as far as getting further in your career, or getting further with a job, getting further with certain things that you do. Not so. In some cases, not so. I would say maybe in most cases, not so. So why damage your skin? And why? The big question is why risk your life with catching the feedback from it. Like, let's say if you put the chemical in your skin to lighten your skin, there might be some repercussions as far as, like, you never know. It can get cancer. It can be cancerous. You never know. It can cause like a chemical reaction in your body your body. Not everything is made for everybody, and that's what people don't understand. You know, not everything is made for everybody. Mm-hmm. You know, injections are not made for everybody. Not everything is not made for everybody. Sometimes you just gotta say, "This is me," and learn to love you, and learn to accept who you are. Because when you inject your body and you tamper with your look and tamper with certain things, sometimes it just backfires. Sometimes it doesn't work out. It may work. What may work for Mrs. Jones may not work for you. May work for Mrs. Jones may not work in your favor. It may work for her. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work for you. So we gotta be careful. we gotta be careful what we do with our skin, because what we have, the skin is a very delicate, right? Fifth is a very delicate thing, and when you tamper with different chemicals, and I don't know the ingredients of cake soap so much. I didn't get tamper into it, but I read a little bit of it last week.
I would guess that there's some type of
chemicals in it, though.
I would guess there's some type of eliminating agent that is in the actual product, because if it's eating away at something.
Yes.
It has to be something like that. It has to be something that is detrimental to your long-term health.
It's a steroid. It's like a steroid. A steroid is a strong thing where it goes against. It goes against it. What you have, it goes against it.
It goes against nature.
Yeah.
But then your body will respond and say, okay, this is not helping me, so it'll either do two things. Reject it, or if it accepts it, then you're basically laying down, you're making the immune system bow down to what is taking control, and it can result in kill you. Sad to say, but if skin bleaching products often started killing some black folks, I don't think that would stop it. Some black folks would probably just say, oh, well, it just got them, so I'll just do a little bit, but not overdo it like they did.
Yes.
And, people look at Michael Jackson, because Michael Jackson had vitiligo, but it's clear to see.
That's what it's called, vitiligo, yeah.
Right, but it's clear to see that to match his vitiligo, I mean, what else happened? So, and not only did he have the skin to match, but his hair was different too. I mean,
his nose was different.
He had surgery on his nose,
and surgery on the lips and nose.
But hair surgery.
Wait a minute, he had a hair transplant.
Because
didn't he get burned? He got burned.
Well, yeah,
84, 85, he got burned.
The Pepsi commercial.
Yeah.
But how does your hair? This man had one of those thick, kinky afros all of his life, and all of a sudden he has straight hair.
Is that part of the chemical with the Jerry curl?
I don't think that is part of the chemical. I think there was something else that was being used.
Yeah, it could be, because one time he did have straight hair, like straight hair, and I was like, wow. I know Jerry curls is supposed to make Jerry curls as Jerry curls, but one thing to put like straight chemicals, like, remember the thing called S curl? Straight chemicals that burn, like
S curl. You could sweat out an S curl, and then your hair goes back to natural.
Yeah.
So I'm saying S curl don't make your hair grow from the root straight. Go play a game of basketball, and then your hair go back to being a fro if you got an S curl. I know, because when I was young, I tried to get better waves.
Yeah, yes.
And so I would use an S curl product to get waves. This was like back in like junior high school.
Man, I used that
I'll keep it real.
In the 90s. Early, I'm talking about, no, wait a minute, 89, 90. I'm sorry, I'm going back when I was a kid. Yeah. 1991 is when I did the S curl. I wanted to get that like fresh look with the fade, the S curl with the fade.
I had that old Luther Vandross look on the Never Too Much album cover. That's what I was trying to. Well, not trying to get exactly, but but my hair's too strong for that. And then
man.
I'm glad we had to continue this topic, because it was very important. So we was talking about now the hair part. Remember, you said that you always hear these words applied.
Nice hair.
If somebody has straight hair, they have good hair. But if they got kinky hair, that's bad hair.
Yes.
Let's look at the science now, because I'm gonna tell you in reverse.
Okay.
The science says when it comes to hair, and when you look at climates and stuff, and where you see where black folks originate from, and what the places that we're known to mainly start from. Obviously, we can name Africa. Before Africa was Africa, that spot.
Right.
Okay. So we talk about the heat. Kinky hair is a sign of strength. I'll tell you the reason. Very kinky hair, you can't run a comb through. Now, you could do that with straight hair. You can't run a comb through kinky hair, African textured hair. You see what I'm saying? That heat was designed to keep the sun from really beating you down. When it comes to the hair part.
Yes.
So when they say it's bad hair, no, it's actually good hair. It's strong hair.
Yeah.
Me personally, I have at this moment, I'm growing dreads.
Right.
So I realized how strong my hair is by letting it grow this long. I've never had my hair this long in my life. And I'm realizing the strength of my hair. Like, you can't just pull my hair.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of strength there. A lot of strength. You know what I'm saying? And so, my hair was made for my style. So now we look at the straight hair. The straight hair was better suited for cold and windier climates. Because that's just how that's how God made us. You know what I'm saying? He made some of us with this, some of us with that. The whole good and bad thing started from just straight up racism. That's where that started. It had nothing to do with one person. Do you know that in history that, because here's the thing, melanin is also a sign of strength. The same ingredient that is in melanin is in space. The galaxy, like space is black. So that same ingredient scientifically, that's melanin.
Yeah.
Actually. That same or similar type of chemical gene or whatever you could say DNA-wise is in the skin color of not only the original man, but a lot of original animals. You notice in the wild, you see, like for instance, I'll give you a good example. When you see a lot of animal, let me think of something like an elephant, right? An elephant naturally has dark skin. It's dark gray or it's dark brown, right? You ever seen a white elephant?
Never seen a white elephant, no.
They exist, but they would call that an albino elephant. It's rare.
I've never seen that.
Me personally, I haven't, but I've heard stories. And then you have the white rhino. That's rare too. The reason why they're white is because of a recessive trait.
Are they extinct, the white rhino?
There might be, I think I read something, there might be one alive, or there might be, I don't know, it's kind of hard. I read somewhere that that they're endangered. I also read that the black rhino's endangered because they keep hunting them for their tusk. These animal
ivory?
Right, these animal poachers.
Yeah.
They're hunting them, big game hunting, and also getting their tusk and selling it. They do it with the elephants too.
Yes.
So, and then when you look at like birds, a lot of birds are dark in color.
Yeah.
Then when you see like for instance, a dove is nothing but a white pigeon.
Yes.
It's the same bird. It's just a white feathered pigeon.
Yeah.
Here's where the racism comes in. They're the same bird. They have the same temperament and same everything. But white doves are celebrated, and then pigeons are looked at as the filth of the earth.
Right. Which is true.
A dove and a pigeon is the same thing. Last time I checked. But two doves can't make a darker colored pigeon.
Right.
So, and I said last week that you can get the recessive from the dominant, but you can't get the dominant from the recessive trait. That's why two black people can make a white baby and two white people cannot make a black baby. If you have a white woman out there and her husband, and she says, and the child come out as black as me, and he says, and she says that the man's the father, you might have to do a DNA test.
No, there's a situation I heard of where the father was a black man and his wife is white, and then the baby comes up with blue eyes and white pale skin.
That could happen. I'm just saying two white people can't make a black baby.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Science proves that two white people can't make a dark skinned baby.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah.
So the situation is this, right? So in nature, you have situations where you have situations now.
Yeah.
Where you have the where, like I said, the good hair, bad hair thing.
Good hair, bad hair.
So let's talk about the skin thing, right?
Okay.
So vitamin D, the darker skin you are, the better you're able to withstand the sun.
The sun, yes.
This is why you don't hear too many stories about dark skinned people being skin burned, but you hear it with lighter skinned people.
Oh yeah, sometimes when they don't have the melanin in their skin, they get. I remember like living on Winter Avenue, and I had a friend that was white that lived next door to me, and the skin burnt because skin burnt because of the sun burning the skin. The skin would peel. Now it would peel. It would peel the skin, so when you touch them, it will hurt. It hurts. It hurt the skin. It hurts the body. It's pain. I heard it's painful. Now we can sit in the sun all day. Me and you, we can sit in the sun all day and don't get burnt skin. Can't sit in the sun all day. We said could use some sunblock protection, but we can endure it more than the pale skin can. Some people that's pale skin.
Well, and see, that's the thing is that they've used. Here's where the racism comes in, where they say, "Oh, your skin is this, so it's a curse." Yeah. Well, to me, it sounds like a blessing. According to science, it sounds like a blessing. Yes. Now, that's not to say that I'm better than you, but I will say this though. This is the original skin. So when you talk to me, you talking to daddy. Mm-hmm. So then you need to be careful about how you now come at black folks with with the whole skin thing. I mean, I'm just keeping that real. Right. But this is what you have. So you have a situation where you have, I think if more people were taught that growing up, things would be a little differently. I think if you were taught more about the science, that's one thing they keep in science. Growing up, they stay away from skin science. I noticed that. That's one thing they stay away from. But white supremacy controls education. Mm-hmm. So of course they would keep that from you. Of course they would keep that from you. But then one thing you can't ignore with science. I'm growing up, young black kid, and I'm running wild. I'm seeing young white kids rub suntan lotion, and I'm like, what the heck I need that for? No, I didn't know. And then when I found it, I was like, oh.
Fifth. Yesterday there was a
That's one thing white supremacy can't hide. Yeah. Because that's the truth.
There was a sister. There was on the I was looking at YouTube yesterday, and there was a sister on it's an actress. And I think she was a child actress. And I think she was on the Cosby. She did an appearance on the Cosby Show. She in the interview asked her, said, "Oh, you look lighter. How come you got lighter?" And she said, "Well, I tan. Sometimes I go in the sun and I tan." She's black, but she says she tans. No,
I've heard that.
I heard that many times.
Yeah, I've heard that.
What do you think about black people that say that they tan?
Well, we talking about light skinned black folks,
dark skin
tanning.
That's she. Listen, I mean she.
Well, she has a natural tan.
Yeah, so I don't think it's could I call it tanning?
I mean, you could. No, I've heard some black folks say. No, I've heard that.
You did? Okay.
I've heard growing up. I've heard some black folks say tanning. I've heard that. I have.
I'm gonna sit in the sun and get a nice tan.
Yeah, but we have a natural tan, meaning when the winter comes, we're still gonna look like what we look like. Yeah, that's not gonna change. Right. That's that's the difference between us and other things. You're naturally gonna be in the summertime. Everybody naturally will get darker. Yeah, that's just natural. Mm-hmm. But then you'll get back to what your original form is. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, but what you're born with is okay. Whatever you're born with, this is absent from vitiligo and all these other semantic questions that can probably come up when somebody says, well, what if your skin changes? Okay. But whatever you're born with, when you become what your skin color is, you're going to be that until you die, more likely.
Yes.
You know? There are some situations where you've seen some people get darker as they get older. There's a particular science to that. You see it in...
babies.
Yeah.
Some babies, yeah.
But I'm talking about elderly.
Oh.
Like, when you get an elderly age, you end up being darker than you was when you're 80 than you was when you was 20. You know, I see that in other cultures. I've seen that with certain Mexicans. Mm-hmm. I'll give you an example. You ever seen George Lopez? I saw a recent
comedian.
Yeah, comedian George Lopez.
Yeah.
I saw him on his first show,
Comic stand up.
Not stand up, but his first 30-minute show. George Lopez show, that show.
Yeah.
And then I saw him recently.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, you know what? He looks a little darker. I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just noticing that the older he's getting, I'm noticing that his complexion is getting darker.
Yeah.
So you see that in other people. You see that with certain. I've seen that in certain Asian communities where, like for instance, like the Philippines.
Oh yeah.
Where they'll have like that kind of lighter skin, kind of. I'm trying to use a comparison without offending anybody, but kind of like a light brownish color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then when they get older, they start to get a little more of a deeper brown.
Yes.
So I've seen that because first off, they have melanin
in their skin. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, everybody does, even white people. It's just the darker you are, the more you have it in you. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So white people have melanin too, just not as much as
they do
that of black folks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, the sun. You know, so here's the thing. Okay, so let me hand it back to you, right?
Yes.
So, with all this science being taught, at the end of the day, racism still throws it out the window because they don't care what is what. They don't care who is first. They don't care about none of that. Yeah. You were talking about how people will still bleach their skin to get advancement in life.
Oh yeah, because they don't sit down and educate themselves about the skin conditions, and they don't sit down and educate themselves about that. It's not about nowadays. Racism still here, but I guess money carries towards society. Money carries you a long way too.
What do you say about these folks that bleach themselves and now they don't want to identify as black anymore? How does white society treat them?
The same way.
Thank you.
The same way.
Thank you.
The same way. Listen.
Speak to that.
Yeah, you get treated the same. Even if you're light in your skin, you're gonna get treated because even if they have an ounce of black in you, you can still consider black. Listen, Rosa Parks was light skinned, very light skinned, and she still had to sit in the back of the bus. Mm-hmm. But I like Rosa Parks because she was a proud black woman, and she stood, and she fought, and she was light skinned, but she just knew who she was. There's a difference when you know who you are and proud of who you are compared to not knowing who you are and not being proud of who you are. People that bleach their skin is a complexion complex. They're not proud of who they are. They think because if I do this, I'm gonna get further.
That's the connection.
I'm gonna get further, and that's why I embrace. Listen, I was looking at a documentary on one time on the Panthers Vanguard one time.
Yep.
And
that was a great documentary, by the way. That was on PBS.
PBS, yes. Yeah. And when I looked at it and I said that, I'm admiring the Panthers, how proud they are, the hair, afro, and they didn't talk about bleaching skin or looking to fit into society. Listen, they stood up and they wore it. Women, black men and women, young, and 18, 15, 16, 18, 17, 19, wore their afros proudly. Angela Davis and all, Bobby Seale, they wore their afros proudly.
Great example.
You know?
Huey P. Newton, what was his complexion?
Light skin.
What was the complexion of Angela Davis?
Light skin.
What was the complexion of Kathleen Cleveland, Elbridge Cleaver's wife?
Light skin. She was very, Fifth, every she's wife, I thought she was white. At one time, I looked at her very clearly. I said, "Oh, she's a white man," and I said, "No, wait, whoa, she's black." But Afro kinky hair.
But their pride was
pride
black.
shined.
And that's what I'm saying. How
their pride shined.
As light as they were.
And
Malcolm X was another light-skinned brother.
Yes, but
he had more black pride than a lot of dark-skinned brothers.
He did. They're just proud of who they are.
Because his complexion, their light-skinned complexion,
yes,
within the black community did not save them.
Mm-mm.
And that's the point that we were trying to make last week.
Yes.
Have you ever? Do you know? Or are you familiar with some of the early skin bleaching remedies that some people would do? Are you aware of some of them?
Not too aware, but I heard heard of ignorance years and years and years ago.
I'll give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of people taking an orange, cutting it open, and rubbing it up against their skin?
I never heard of that. No.
Okay, because of the acidity in the fruit, they think that's going to burn away at the skin.
Get out of here.
And then some people actually use actual bleach, like you bleach your clothes with.
Oh, that could kill you.
They would put it in their lotion, and then mix it up, and then rub it on their skin. It goes to show you the extremes.
Years ago,
that people go through just to light their skin.
Years ago, I heard milk. If you bathe in milk, your skin gets lighter.
Man, that don't do nothing but get you milk on you. That's all that does. You know how much milk I've spilled on me is pouring cereal? Ain't nothing changed.
It's a hair. They would just bathe in milk. Your skin could get lighter. Why are you getting so? I heard somebody tell me this. Why are you getting so dark? Straight up, boy. Why are you getting so dark? Why don't you just put some lotion? You need some lotions on your skin to lighten your skin up.
Lotion don't do that.
I said, well, this is how I am. This is it. And my wife looked at me and said, I love chocolate. Don't worry about it.
Like I said, this is daddy talking. My complexion, this is daddy talking. I may be younger than some people out there, but science-wise, this is daddy talking.
Yeah, man.
What color was Adam and Eve?
Black.
Now, regardless of what white supremacy teaches of the color of Adam and Eve and Jesus.
Well, they always portray that in the Bible story books. That they're white, the Caucasian. Every book that you pick up about what has to do portray pictures, and our kids read it too. They portray, they treat the Middle Eastern dark skinned people as white folk. That's the images of white folks.
Well, that's impossible because you read stories right now about people out there who are not natural to the skin in that region. Yeah, and they're suffering out there. You ever hear the stories when they filmed that movie Moses King? What was that? The Moses movie?
Yeah,
the one with Christian Bale. The actors out there said that they could barely record out in the field because the sun was tearing their bodies up.
See?
So that should show you about the true people there.
Yeah.
And then if you look at the hieroglyphics, because they say that the original Egyptians was white. When you look at the hieroglyphics on the walls, what is the skin color of the paintings?
They're black.
Exactly.
They're black. They're black. Listen, they're in Egypt. That sun beating you all day long. Yeah, that sun is beating you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is going to happen to your skin? Eventually, it's beating you. What do you think is going to happen to your skin?
Yeah. So then that should give you a clue that the original Egyptians definitely wasn't. First off, Egypt. I think people ignorantly forget that Egypt is in Africa.
Yeah, you want to think it's in the Middle East.
Well, first off, the Middle. Okay, there's no such. Here's the thing. I'm gonna ask you this: is the Middle East a continent?
No, it's not.
Exactly. The Middle East is part of Africa.
Yes, it is.
That includes Israel, Lebanon, and all them other countries. That was connected to Africa. You know what I'm saying? Afro-Asiatic kind of land, I guess, because you got Africa and Asia and Europe and all that. So it's like a connection.
Yeah.
So all of that was Africa back then.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Middle East is not a continent. They say Middle East like it's another continent. You know?
Yes.
Like what the heck is that? I don't know, but it just goes to show you the ignorance. But like I said before, you could lie, you could cheat, and you can steal, but nature will tell you what is supposed to be what when it comes to skin color, because like I said before, you have these skin bleaching products and people are dying from them because nature is saying, yo, man, this ain't how it's supposed to be. Off you go. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying?
I figure that they're debating it over and over and over again that it changes the melanin skin so you get lighter. Oh, I look pretty. Look how pretty I look. My skin is light. I look pretty. I look pretty. Wee! I look pretty. I look pretty. I look pretty.
It's horrible. But here's the thing: if you have all your life heard that your complexion is ugly, not only you hear it first off, we hear it every day from white supremacists.
Yeah,
and then because it's been taught so much in the media influence and how it was taught in slavery.
Yes.
So then you have it where they don't even have to say anything; they've already put it in a lot of people's minds. So then now you have other people coming at you and tell your complexion is ugly. So of course of course that can lead to a complexion complex, but then you also need that voice that'll tell you, nah, that's not what it is. Black is beautiful. You can embrace that, and you don't have to worry about nothing else.
You know the woman that acted. You know I forgot the name of the sister that was in. She's from Africa. Movie was 12 Years of Slavery.
You talking about Lupito Nyong'o?
Yes, and I've heard this
beautiful sister.
She's a beautiful sister, very beautiful sister, dark skinned beautiful sister, great smile, and I've heard this over and over. I heard this sometimes that she's beautiful for a black African woman. I'm like, what does that mean? She's beautiful for like all African black women. I'm like, it gets me annoyed when I hear that. She's just give her the credit. She's a beautiful woman. Don't say, oh, she's beautiful for a dark skinned black woman. You're beautiful. Give her the credit, man. Don't say that, man, because you're trying to put all dark skinned women in one category, saying that they're ugly and they're not.
That's because dark skinned women are not respected, man.
You know, it had a whole documentary on it. On one time it was on Netflix and it was also on YouTube.
It's on Oprah's joint too. You talking about it's something produced by the actor Bill Duke.
Yes.
What is it called?
Colored. When we were colored. Just colored. I think it's called. I forgot the name of it. And they got the name of that documentary, but it's a whole documentary on the light skin and dark skin. And it shows up, portrays a whole documentary on it, and it just depicts how black women just look towards the lighter skin, and they show the little girls choosing the lighter dolls. Every time when a black little girl goes, they want to pick a toy, a doll, they just choose the lighter ones and you ask the little girl the question, why you choose this one? She look pretty. Yeah. She's beautiful.
Do you know the experiment? Have you seen the doll experiment?
You seen further into it?
I've seen it.
Okay.
I think it was 2020 News. It was either 2020 or Dateline. Okay. This is what they did, because this is what they teach our kids. Our kids got this from somewhere, but I need to get at the parents here.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So this is what they showed. This was on TV. You can go on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
They put them in a room. They had black dolls and they had white dolls. And they said, what doll looks like you? Wait, actually, before I get to that, they said, what doll looks pretty?
Mm-hmm.
And they would point at the white one. What doll you think is nice? They would point at the white one.
Mm-hmm.
What doll do you think is pretty?
Mm-hmm.
They would point at the white one.
Mm-hmm.
What doll looks innocent? They would point at the white one.
Mm-hmm.
What doll looks ugly? These were black kids they had in there. They would point at the black one.
Yes.
What doll looks guilty? They would point at the black one.
Mm-hmm.
What doll looks ugly? They would point at the black doll.
Yeah.
What doll looks like you? They would point at the black doll.
Yes.
Do you understand all of those things that was taught? You were not born knowing that.
Yes.
That's what I wanted. I couldn't wait to record this.
Yes.
Because I wanted to talk about that.
Yes.
What is that doing to the mind? And we're talking about kids who are like 5 years old and down.
Yes. That's why I had to get on my daughter, man. I mean,
the poison, man.
Yes.
Hold on. Back to this. What doll looks guilty? What? So now it's the it's now you're driving into their minds. Or what doll looks evil? What doll looks guilty? Now you got the justice system in it. What doll looks guilty? What doll looks evil?
Wow.
Do you know that? And in the end, they said, what doll looks like you? And then so now, here these black kids growing up and what they think of the doll, even though it's a toy, that's how they think of themselves.
Think about it, people. Think about it, people.
And this is
about it.
And this is why I need to get on the parents. If you are a parent and I'm not a parent, so don't take me wrong when I say this. If as a parent, you let a thought or a mentality carry on with that child for the rest of his life without correcting that in the beginning, you have failed.
Yes.
Now go with what you were saying, because you're a parent.
Yes.
Of a son and a daughter.
Yes, and I teach my kids every night. I say I'm black and beautiful. We pray before they go to bed, and we pray. We do pray as a family, but I teach them when we pray. When we pray, I say I'm black, I'm beautiful. I iterate it every single night. Why? Because it's important. You have to teach your kids self-love. You know, if you don't teach your kids self-love, it also sums out in the decision making too. When you don't teach them self-love, that's why some of our kids wind up in jail, because they don't teach themselves self-love. If you don't love yourself, certain decisions that you make, that you should have taught your kid. You should have taught your kid to love themselves. They won't make certain decisions that they make if you didn't teach them how to love themselves. Love themselves. Love who they are. And this is where the cake soap, and this is where the ingredients of bleaching your skin comes in, where you don't learn to love yourself. Yes, media pushes that. I'm guilty. The darker skinned doll, or the dark you are, the more trouble you're at. I've heard that over the years growing up too. Oh yeah,
we hear it every day.
Yeah, and I'm hearing it over and over again. This is why, as black parents, it's our duty to teach our kids to love yourself. This is God made you. If He made you light skin, He made you light skin. Love yourself. If He made you dark skin, He make you cinnamon brown. Love yourself. Teach your kids to say I'm black and I'm beautiful. It's important, because if you don't teach them that, society out there is going to teach them, going to show them, and going to try to portray them who they are, and that's not so. Going to tell them that, listen, because I have this dark skin, I cannot get certain things in life because of my complexion. I cannot reach certain plateaus because of who I am, and how I look. I cannot get certain places because this is who I am. I'm dark, so I gotta stay down. If I'm light, I stay up. If I'm dark, I'm stay down. This is the mentality of supremacy, teaching their kids this over, and they don't tell it, but they show it to you every day in their images.
Cartoons,
is important. Music everywhere.
All various forms of entertainment.
Everywhere. It's deeper than what you think, folks. Everywhere. You have to sit down and love your kids, but you also got to teach them to love themselves. This is very important, man.
And when you're not around, you need to ask them what they're being taught. I bet you if a lot of you parents out there did that test, that it's possible that they may think the same thing.
Yes, do the test. Guaranteed.
Yeah, do the test, but then also look at what you're buying your kids.
Yes.
I mean, if you're a black parent and you go in their room and all you got in there is dolls and toys that don't represent them, then don't be surprised when they don't love themselves.
Exactly. Don't be surprised when they say that, oh, I don't want that doll. It's like, huh?
And let me say this. Black woman, I love you, but I need to say this. Kids see what you do. Kids also hear what you say, but they see what you do.
Yes.
If you're a black woman out there and your black daughter hears you talk about how you don't like your own hair, and she see you every time you turn around trying to straighten your hair out, and you trying to bleach your stuff blonde, and you wearing blue eye contacts, and you trying to put on foundation makeup that's lighter than the rest of your body, you know your daughter's gonna grow up and think that's how she's supposed to be too.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this ain't all black women, because I don't do that generalizing stuff. That's ignorant. A lot of sisters out there that embrace and love their natural self. Shout out to Lauryn Hill.
Yes.
But there's a lot of sisters out there on some Stacey Dash stuff. So my thing is, kids are going to see that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kids, I'm telling you, they look at that. They see everything.
Yeah, we got to set the example.
If you're a woman out there, I mean, not just how you look, but how you act. I mean, maybe this is a topic for another show, but if you're a woman out there, excuse what I'm about to say, busted it wide open for these men out here, your daughter see that, she going to grow up and think she got to do that too. But the point I'm making is, what you say is what you preach, but what you do is what you teach.
Say it again.
I will.
Yeah.
What you say is what you preach. But what you do is what you teach.
Yes, right.
And this goes for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Men, women, everybody. Even if you're not a parent. Some people look up to you as role models, whether you want that role or not. I got to watch what I do.
Yeah.
Just like my brother here got to watch what he do.
Yes.
Because somebody's watching.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We're not perfect. But this is how this happens. You know?
Yeah.
So let me give it back to you for a second here. I gotta ask you a question.
Yeah.
When it comes to dating, right? Because we talked about this last time. Remember you said don't marry somebody because of their complexion.
Right. I
want to get back to what you said last week. You said that you got some brothers out there who have the complexion. Those who have the complexion complex. Those are the ones who are not woke.
Right.
That they will date. The goal is for them is that they actually want to date a white woman.
Yes.
So they'll try to date something that's close to it, whether it be a light-skinned black woman, or maybe somebody in the Latino community, the Asian community.
Oh yeah.
But their overall goal is to get somebody white, so they'll work their way up.
Yes.
So this kind of goes into a different topic, but it kind of stays with this in the same time because we're talking about a complexion complex.
Yes.
What will a complexion complex get you in the end if that's your motive?
Nowhere. It's a swift kick in the butt.
Exactly. Get you killed.
You know why? Because you see, the thing is that
you killed, thrown in jail.
Yeah, when you just choose a woman because of her complexion, and it's beauty is skin deep. You can't just choose somebody off of complexion. It's got to be a compatibility. It's got to be more than just outer looks. It's got to be more than. It's way more than that. You cannot just choose somebody because of I like her. I mean, everybody has a preference, of course. I'm not knocking a preference, but don't just make that it.
Yeah. You're talking about the mind behind it.
Yeah, don't just make that. Oh, because she's lighter, because she's whiter, lighter skin, I gotta choose a mate that's compatible with you. How about that?
Yep. Exactly.
Oh man.
But I would have to say a lot of that kind of it starts in the home too.
Yes.
You know, how did you're growing up, whether you got your father, whether you don't have your father, whether you have your mother, you don't have your mother.
Yeah.
Whatever you grow up seeing is what will carry over. I mean, that's usually how it is. What is most common is people grow up dating what is in their family. Let me say that in the right way. I've seen this. If you are a family that has a whole bunch of big women in your family,
yes,
overweight women. This is not throwing judgment, but I'm just making a point.
Yeah.
Eventually, you might be with a big woman too, or the opposite. You'll get with a woman who's very skinny.
Yeah.
Because maybe you didn't, it flips around. If you're somebody in your family who grew up with a lot of people who are dark skinned, like say you're light skinned.
Yes.
But most of your family is dark skinned.
Yes.
More than likely, you'll get with somebody dark skinned.
Yeah. Yes.
No, that happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, because that's what you grew up seeing. Your mother's dark, but if your father's light or white, then you have that too. But then also, what you see happen in a lot of, whether it be biracial people, you see two things happen here though. When it comes to them dating somebody who's white, if they appear black, they can tell that person, "Oh well, I'm only mixed. whoever the person is looking at you is going to see more what you appear more to be.
Right.
So if your features look more black, people are going to think you're black. If you look more white, people are going to think you're white.
Right.
Great example. Quincy Jones' daughter, actress,
yes,
Rashida Jones.
Right.
Rashida Jones, if you look at her real quick, you'll think that's a white woman.
I thought so too at one point when I looked at her. Yeah, I knew you're talking about.
If you look at her real quick, her sister though looks more features. Her sister's features look a little bit more black to me. That's just my opinion. But when you look at Rashida real quick, I mean, like if you don't look at her and stare at her, what I'm saying is if you look first glance, oh, that's a white woman. Right. But then you be like, wait a minute, but her name's Rashida. I don't know too many white people with that name. So then you start to do a little more digging.
Research.
And then you look at her father, and this is what you do. You do a side by side of the father and the daughter, and you say, you know what? She kind of look like Quincy.
Yeah.
She does.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get her next to her father, then you say, okay, I see what it is. But whatever you look like is what society will more so see you as.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if you look more black, like Tracy Ellis Ross. Tracy Ellis Ross is light skinned, but she look like a mother. She look like Diana. Don't she look like Diana?
She does look like Diana Ross. Okay. Yes.
I don't think she gets treated like a white woman.
No,
not
she
even
don't.
close.
No.
And she'll tell you that.
No. She looks black. You know, Chris Humphrey. What about Chris Humphrey? The guy named.
Well, I mean, you know, you look at him, and you do two things. To me, because I'm used to like. Here's the thing: when I look at people who are biracial, I can kind of guess it automatically, like Obama.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? You can tell. You can look at him and say, yeah, he definitely got some black in him. When you look at Chris Humphries, I had to. You know, you take time to look at him. You're like, yeah, he do look like he might have, like Blake Griffin, another example.
Yeah. Blake
Griffin, he looked like he got black in him because he does. His father's black.
Yeah.
Jesse Williams from Grey's Anatomy, he looks black, but he's light skinned. He's got light eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mariah Carey looks black. You know, Alicia Keys, another one. These are people who are from what you would call mixed families.
Right.
But they look black.
Yes.
But what I said about Rashida Jones is that she looks more white.
Yeah.
But Rashida is black because her father's black. Her father's not dark skinned, so that probably explains why she looks like that.
Right.
Because it's not like her father was very dark.
Yeah.
You know? So what you got to say on that? Because I know you probably see that. You probably feel that too, that whatever you appear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when sometimes you see mixed people. I think it was I forgot the actor. Paula Patton.
Yeah.
Now I thought she was white. When I first seen her.
She looked black to me though.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looked black to me. Or Latina.
Oh, Latino. Yeah.
She don't look white.
No, she don't look white.
She don't look lily white.
I thought one time she was white. I took a quick look. I said, "Oh, that's a white woman." I had to look at her again, and then I did the research. I was like, "Oh, wait! Oh, she's black. Okay, but she's proud of it too."
Well, let's just say this: she has the look that white men would go for.
Yes,
just keeping it real because she's in between, but then she looks like you said to you. She don't look like an African American woman per se.
No,
she don't look like that of an African diaspora.
No, she doesn't. No,
you know what I'm saying?
Nah.
But she don't look like a white woman to me. But I can see where you're going with that. I mean, Alicia Keys Alicia Keys is light as she is. She's lighter than Paula Patton.
Yeah.
But Alicia Keys' features, you can see that Alicia Keys is a black woman.
Oh yeah, her features, yeah, for sure, yeah. Her features.
Lisa Bonet looks like a black woman. She
just does.
Light.
Yeah, she's a black woman. Yeah, I could tell she looks like a black woman.
Mariah Carey. At first, I did hear that a lot of people were kind of confused. They were trying to figure Mariah Carey out when she first came out.
When she first came out, so she was white.
Ain't no confusion now. But I'm saying
in the beginning, when I first seen Mariah Carey, I said, "That's a white woman." I said, "Oh no, that's a white woman. Is that a white woman?" Somebody said, "No, she's black."
How about Stacey Lattisaw? She's real light.
Oh yeah, Stacey Lattisaw.
Seen the New Edition movie?
Yeah.
What Johnny Gill said?
Yeah. Okay, Stacey Lattisaw. I thought she was. Well, first when I seen her, I thought she was a white girl, like a chubby white girl. But I said okay. And then when as time went on, I said okay, she's black. I thought she was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Stacey Lattisaw. Did that do it with Johnny Gill?
Right.
Yeah.
Now we stuck to this topic. I think I tried to stay away from interracial dating as much as possible, as far as going deeper with that. Only because that's for a different show.
Yeah, that's a different topic.
We would just talk about more so within the community. And we were also talking about against the community. How, you know, the dark, like I said last week, because Andre 3000 wore a shirt when he performed, and it said darker people across nations suffer more, suffer the most, and why. So we were talking about the racism aspect of that.
I'm wondering how much. I mean, when people seen that, what was their reaction? I'm curious about their reaction.
Two things: they probably didn't like what they saw. Number two, they probably are now questioning that and digging to why he wore that shirt.
Right.
There's a cause behind that. There's a meaning behind that.
Yeah.
And I bet you a lot of people who saw that, who within our community and other communities of people who are dark skinned, probably was like, "Yo, I actually can feel that." You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
Whereas people who are on the other side of the tracks probably were like, what the heck is that man talking about? He's race baiting.
Right.
Because, you know, people try to act like racism don't exist, and black people just all together, like black people just all around the world decided to come together and then just lie and say that we're just not being treated right. I don't know too many first of all, I can't even get that many black people together to agree on what they want for dinner. Better don't agree about what they're gonna lie about. So we know it's not a lie, and there's you know what it is. There's more people of the African diaspora in the world than they are Caucasians. It's just in the nation there are less black people than white people.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the white supremacy that runs, and white supremacy is not just white faces. You have people who co-opt with white supremacy and help it.
Yeah,
that's what's keeping the narrative down about the black struggle. Mm-hmm. And I feel like our stories are not being told, and they're being ignored and being pushed into the wind. And when that happens, that's dangerous.
Yes, it's dangerous to our kids because, as you can see, like I said before, the decision makings of our kids, because they're not being taught about who they are. They have a lot of, you know, like I said before, it's not just white folks that are racist that are portraying the white supremacy. It's some of our black folks too,
right?
Because you have to understand, when you don't teach your kids about the history, you're doing that. Right. When you don't teach your kids about about the civil rights movement, you're doing that. And how we got certain things we get, you're doing that. When you don't teach your kids about the history, and you don't teach them to be proud of who they are, and you don't teach them about black inventors, that's what you're doing.
Right.
You're practicing white supremacy. You're doing it. You're pushing it. So it's important to teach our kids these things.
And not only black people want that history, but white people want that history too.
Yeah.
If you love history and you're a history buff, no matter what the color is, you want to know. Not only do I crave for my personal knowledge, crave for my history, my people's history, but I look at world history. There are things that I know about other cultures. I may not talk about it as much, but I world history. I respect world history. Period.
Yeah, world history. Exactly.
You know,
because it's sad when some people don't know about their history or don't know who they are, and it's really tough.
Right. It's the racism behind it that's a problem, because now it's like, okay, it's the white supremacy history is on white people have created everything, and then everybody else didn't create nothing. That's the racist part. Yeah. And then the whitewashing too, where you had black people who did things, but then you say, oh no, he didn't do it, this person did it, and you find it was a lie.
Right.
That's the racism part. You know, like a white Jesus. That's racism.
Or they had a picture online, it was going on online for a while, about the first black president in 1700s. They had the first black president. That's a propaganda right there, because we all know during slavery time we couldn't even get certain jobs.
I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah, we couldn't even get certain. We was not even considered citizens. No time at all. We were slaves, and then just slaves. And you're gonna say that was the first black president. They got it confused because that was the first. That black man is a president of he was president of, I believe, Liberia. at that time.
Right. I could kind of get some perspective in there.
Yeah.
Before the so-called New World, what would be the invasion, or when you had settlers from the European come over here and just wreak havoc, rape, and pillage.
Right.
Before the New World, there was governments that were here, and there was black people who was already here. So there might have been a black president, but it wasn't what we call today of the United States. It was whatever the community or local government at that time happened before the invasion. So I understand that history. I think the problem is when you tell something that might be history and you don't tell the full story. Now that's propaganda, because now you're kind of leaving something open. And then you're also trying to ignore what happened when the Europeans got over here and was raping and pillaging. It's almost like you're trying to forget that happened. Right. You're trying to make it seem like the Native Americans welcomed everybody with open arms and it wasn't no war. No, there was a war when they got here.
Of course. You're taking over their land. This is their land.
And it should be. You shouldn't be coming to people's land and then don't take over. And there don't be no fight. The heck out of here.
Nah, they fought, man. That's one thing with the Native Americans. They fought, man.
I'm saying that's where the propaganda. Yeah. The propaganda is coming in when you have people. Oh, this is going to be a topic for another show, but the propaganda is when now you teach, they came over here and everything was good. No, it wasn't.
No.
Diseases, famine, and sickness and rape. Yeah. I want to emphasize rape right now with that, because a lot of raping took place. And this is the reason why you have some people who are naturally dark and have lighter skin now because of the rape.
He's telling the truth. We ain't been cursing it, man. We telling the truth, man.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to go. Let me just say this. Let me just wrap it up. I'm gonna let you close it up. So my thing is this: the complexion complex must die. Okay, yes. It must die from birth.
Yes.
Don't even let it grow. Don't even let it. To me, a complexion complex is a curse. Okay, no matter who you are, no matter what skin you are, culture, ethnicity, race, whatever you're a part of, we can enjoy everybody for who they are. Just leave the racism out of it, man. That's all I say. That's all I gotta say. Okay, you can love yourself. No matter you white, love you. You know, if you white, love yourself. If you Mexican, love yourself. Whoever you are, love yourself. I like people who keep it real. Yes. One thing I don't like is people who are, say you're part of another community, and then you disrespect your own community. Like, say you're somebody from an Asian background, and then you hate on your own Asian people. I can't be cool with you either, because I like people who are proud of themselves and who are themselves. Don't pose for me. Don't act black and think I'm going to, quote unquote, act black, and then think I'm going to show more love because you do that. Actually, I'm going to dislike you more because I feel like you're a culture vulture and you're appropriating and making fun of my culture. Be yourself. We can all celebrate who we are, no matter who we are.
Right.
We could do that. You know, black folks, love yourselves, please. I'm a black man, so I got to speak to that first. Yeah, but, you know, this complexion complex got to die, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been going on too long, and now it's time for it to get buried, man. It's going to take some time, but it needs to get done, because you got people that's still with this bleaching of the skin. Until we come to a conclusion that, listen, this is who I am. I was born this way, and I'm proud. I'm happy what God made me. You will always have a problem. Right. You're gonna never. You think that you're gonna get somewhere, but trust me, you're not gonna get it. It's not gonna take you anywhere. What's gonna take you is your integrity.
There you go.
The content of your character. That's what's gonna take you somewhere. Not the complexion of your skin, or your race, or your ethnicity. It's how you treat people, how you love people, and how you embrace your brothers and sisters, and you're proud of who you are, and you're teaching your kids how to love yourself, how to love themselves, and you're also lending a hand to help others in need. It's not about the complexion, man. Trust me. I mean, you're black in your skin, you put all these chemicals in your body so you can get certain points in life. It's not even worth it to risk your life to to damage your cells in your body and to risk your body mechanism just so you can look light, or you can look like you're successful.
All right. Get at me, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at The Fifth General.
And get at me, Mr. Z, Zaccheus. You can get at me on Twitter, Wayne Bacchus, Bacchus 2 on Twitter. And you can also get at me at Wayne Bacchus on Facebook. And also on Instagram, Zaccheus, Zaccheus B73.
All right. We're out of here. We'll see y'all next time on another edition of Mr. Z and Fifth.
Mr. Z and Fifth.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, peace.